It is Manhood Hour.
Big and bad enough. Are you gonna let them shoot you down when the evil
Rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm taking your phone calls at 888-775-3773, 888-77-JESSE. I am Skyping with Yoni Wolf. He is a songwriter, producer, and artist based in Cincinnati, Ohio. His main music group is called Why, with a question mark. James, my producer, believes that Yoni is an interesting person, and he talked to me about, Yoni talks a lot about his family on his podcast there, his belief, music, and emotions. So I wanted to talk to Yoni, to see what's going on. Yoni, good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So I saw your dog there.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of dog is that?
Right now.
What kind of dog is that?
He's a Chinese crested.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
well, thank you for bringing your dog on too.
He just likes to sit on my lap. He just gets antsy if he's alone. He just it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
Like most of us, I guess, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are sad. Are you a sad person, Yoni?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that.
Are you
No.
lonely?
I go through times of loneliness for sure. I think like anybody does. But as I get older, I'm learning how to accept the time that I'm solitary and enjoy it. I spend a lot of time by myself as an artist, as a musician, as a writer. That's kind of a prerequisite, I think anybody in the arts, you're going to spend some alone time. You're going to have to work on some things by yourself. You're going to have to work some things out yourself. So, there's been many years of lots of that. And part of it's comfortable, part of it can be lonely, but I think through sort of I don't know, acceptance, it can be a very potent thing as well.
When
you can just tune in and vibe with the source, with the creator, or whatever you want to call it, and kind of tune into that, and you really are never alone. I mean,
When you are lonely, what are you lonely for, or who are you lonely for?
I guess there's a certain a certain social thing or camaraderie that us as a species are prone towards, or that we do need. I mean, you can't be alone 24/7, right? I think we as a species are made to be social. We are more powerful together than we are solitary. That said, sometimes one needs to go to the mountaintop, you know what I mean, by oneself, and return to the
So let me ask, are you lonely at times for other people or for a woman or what?
Wow, this just took a real personal turn, but that's fine. I like that, Jesse. I like that. I think, sure, from time to time that can happen, but I guess when I do feel, and I just talked about this with my therapist last week or something, who I never see. I just randomly went to see him. But I sometimes have an idea, I guess.
When you say yes, are you saying yes, you're lonely for a woman, or are you saying yes, you're lonely for other people?
Let me qualify. I guess I have this thing in me sometimes, which is um, it's hard to explain because it's a very abstract thought, but I'll try to. It's something like the feeling of nostalgia, okay?
Right.
But instead of for the past, for a possible future, if that makes sense. And that may be some kind of intuition sitting within me that I can't quite understand or realize with my the tiny part of my brain that I actually use.
So let me just ask this. Give me a yes or no. Is it for a woman when you're lonely? Are you?
Oh, I'm not a black and white thinker, so I'm sorry. You're not going to really get yeses and nos from me.
But just for this, and then you can give me the wordy stuff. But when you are lonely for a woman? Yes or no, and then you can do the explanation thing.
No, probably not that exact. I mean, I have been. That has been the case. I'm kind of seeing somebody right now. So.
Oh, okay.
But that has been the case. Yeah, at times. Yeah.
And so now that you're seeing a woman, you're not lonely for a woman because you have one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have somebody. You know what I mean? I spend time with somebody. What about you?
What about me? What?
Do you get lonely? Are you lonely for a woman? Do you have someone in your life?
I am never lonely for anybody or anything.
Okay.
I have complete peace.
How did you achieve that, or how do you achieve that in action?
Well, I achieved it by, and I can't really take credit for it, but what happened was the anger that I had within my soul was taken away from me, and once the anger was taken away, peace came. And so, with the peace, I don't feel that I'm lacking anything or anyone.
Right, and I do feel that a lot of times. There are times when I do feel an antsiness. And that could be described as, I don't want to say loneliness, but like I said.
What caused you to feel that way at times?
Well, let me explain this feeling of future nostalgia. So, I will sometimes have a warm feeling about something that has not happened, and almost like a memory, but almost like a fantasy, but a memory, and it sort of, it'll go towards, if like the idea of like, you see like one of those huge like Greek or Italian or Mediterranean families hanging out at like a big Tuscan country house or something, and eating big meals together, and something like a I mean that's like a concrete visual of a feeling that's not visual or concrete like that, but something like lots of family around and kids and stuff like that. And maybe that means I'm getting to a certain age where that's appropriate. I don't know.
Do you wish to get married and have a family one day?
I think so. I think there's something about that definitely is appealing, like I'm saying. And yeah, I think so. Are you married yourself with kids, or?
I have kids, but not married. I sinned and had my son out of wedlock, and when I was very young, 18 years old, 18, 19. But,
oh wow.
But I've not committed that sin again. Let me ask.
By that sin, you just mean
out of wedlock,
sex out of marriage,
right?
Yeah.
Do you? Let me ask. Do you consider your music weird?
Well, I just. What does that word mean, really? But I mean, I think that no, in this, if you strip everything down and get rid of all the posturing and the surface societal norms and the way that we do things, all those constructs are fabricated. All that stuff is manufactured. All that stuff is arbitrary and developed through just little human tweaks that are just, random and
is your music an expression of what's going on the inside of you? Is it an outward expression of what's happening on the inside of you?
It is a reflection and a transmitting of things that are running through me, ideally. But through. Okay.
Let me take a break.
Yes, sir.
All right. 888-775-3773. Back in a moment. I just want to warn you, America, as I've been doing for the last 25 years, our battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil, right versus wrong. It's time to wake up and deal with life in a spiritual manner, your personal life and your public life, because the beginning of salvation starts with you. Everything starts within you. And if you can deal with you, if you can see yourself in the right way and not be mad about seeing yourself, you will be able to overcome, and then you can deal with the world. You can absolutely deal with the world. And that's why God said to bring every thought into captivity. God said, my children shall know and recognize my voice. So I'm talking to or Skyping with Yoni Wolf, and he's a songwriter, producer, and artist based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Yoni, your main band is called Why, with a question mark. Why is that?
The name was derived. I liked the word, at the time, when I came up with the word, I was like 18, I think. And, it was my graffiti name. Okay. Back then. And then when I started rapping, you have to come up with a rap name. At that time. Nowadays, you can be Kendrick Lamar or you can just use your normal name. But
you were a tagger. Were you a tagger at one point?
Yes, a graffiti artist. Yes, I was.
Oh, so you would go around and write on mess up people's buildings with that graffiti stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there was a certain ethic to it. You didn't want to just go, there was certain kind of stuff it was understood that was okay to write on, and certain stuff that, you wanted to leave alone. But yeah, I'm not saying it was always the most tasteful thing.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah, that was a non sequitur, but yes, sir, I am. Yes.
Okay. So you also, when you were a part of this, I guess, rap group, I read that, let's see here, you, a white boy rap. Oh, you were part of a white boy rap group called Cloud Dead, and with capital letters DEAD, and Dead. Why so weird, like?
I mean, I don't think we advertised as a white boy rap group, but yeah, that could be a description of us, but sort of pejorative, but yeah, we why so weird? That was a sort of an absurdist project, I would say, in a way. We were just having fun with it. We were learning how to do the craft, and enjoying the creative process. The name was derived from a knock knock joke that my friend's 3-year-old sister told him one time. She just said knock knock. He said, "Who's there?" She said, "Cloud." He said, "Cloud who?" She said, "Cloud dead." And that's where that name came from. So that sort of encapsulates the sorry, I'm trying to put this dog down here. That it sort of encapsulates the essence of that group.
Okay, so
why so weird? But let me go back, Jesse, to what I was saying before about social constructs and what is weird. I don't think what I do is any more weird than any other kind of arts that people make. There's just because people may derive a lot of their creative push through the history of what other people have already done, as opposed to trying to pull from something, maybe more newer or different, doesn't mean that it's less weird. So, you have the majority of pop music now, and you can put rap music nowadays in that category. That is basically like usual. There's like two different. There are two different themes to that music. Let me finish. There are two different themes to that music. It's usually like money worship, or it's relationships, sex music, or something like that.
Right.
And that's not what I do. That what is? I mean, sex music, that makes sense to me evolutionarily.
Let me do this because of time, Yoni.
Yes, sir. I'm used to the long form thing.
I know. This is Manhood Hour, and time is going by fast on this radio show here. But Let me ask, what is a man?
Oh, well, I mean that there are many different definitions of that, but you could.
What do you say it is? Let me first ask, are you a real man? Not body part man, but real man. Are you a real man?
I think so in some respects. In other respects, I don't fix cars. So if you want to go back to that kind of paradigm or stereotype.
So what is a man?
I don't draw that distinction in the same way. I feel like a good human is someone that has spent some time with themselves and like you said it on an ad just a minute ago, and I thought that was pretty poignant. Something about sort of when you can see yourself and settle in, and I'm misquoting you, but I think that's something. You've spent enough hours with yourself, and not with yourself with your cell phone or with the TV or something like that. But you really are able to understand what you're about. I think that's something about what it is.
So are you saying that a real man is a male who spends time with himself and understand what he's all about?
Yeah, I think being I don't subscribe to that kind of language, a real man, or those kind of.
Why not?
Because well, I don't know. I think anyone is a real man, but I think
a transgender male is not a real man.
I mean, it's.
Do you agree?
Yeah, sure. It's different. It's a different sort of person, but
it's not a man.
Well, whatever. That's all.
Do you agree
language.
with me or disagree?
If they want to be a man, they're a man.
No, I'm asking you. Do you see them as a man, a transgender male, as a man?
They may not be a body part man, like you said, but they can be a man in their soul. Yeah, sure.
How can they be a man in their soul if they're acting like a woman or desire to be a woman?
Oh, I see. You're saying male to female transgender.
Even before
I would say then that they are more a woman if they're a woman in their soul.
Let me ask. Years ago, you hinted that you've been to church 1,000 times. You've seen the 7 C's, but you wonder where the fulfillment to emptiness? Where's the fulfillment to emptiness? Did you ever find the fulfillment to emptiness?
I said this. Well, I don't remember saying that, but yeah,
It was something
I would
like that.
say I would say that I have dealt with that a lot in my life, and I have found some ways to be a quote unquote man. You know, I have learned to settle in a bit and accept whatever is going on here, because none of us know. You can say you know what's happening here, and you know you may have a way of thinking that's more concrete than mine.
So let me
But
ask.
you really don't
so
know.
do
But you really
still-
don't know what's happening.
Do you still have that emptiness at times?
Sure. Everyone, I believe everyone struggles with feeling the feeling of the void. And I don't want to even say struggle, because that's part of life. That's part of, tapping in. Like, there's a lot of,
Why do you have that emptiness at times when I come back? I want to know,
Okay.
why do you have that emptiness at times? What causes it? 888-7753-773. We'll take some calls as well. Back in a moment. Follow me on Twitter at JLP Talk, at JLP Talk. I'm going to get to your calls just a minute here, folks. 888-7753-773. Yoni Wolf is with me. Yoni, let me ask. Yoni. Yoni.
that's okay.
Yeah, I
It
apologize.
happens all the time.
I know. What causes you to feel empty at times?
Oh, I think that is I think that's a natural state that is part of our makeup, because of the lack of total understanding that we have. You know, we can only understand so many layers deep and so many layers out from
But-
where we're at.
But you do
perspective-wise.
realize it's an abnormal state of being, right?
No, I don't believe that. I believe that there are times when we go into a state of void or emptiness, that can feel sort of disorienting and maybe even a little sad at times. But I think that there's an acceptance you have to have surrounding that, and then you come out of that with a greater understanding. I believe it's similar to a mountaintop experience.
No, that's an abnormal emptiness. It's an abnormal state of being, and you're
You're
right.
saying that
a
you're
whole
saying
lot
that
of
what-
people do feel that way, but it's an abnormal state of being. It's not the way human beings should be. What does it mean?
Why do you believe human beings should be? Why do you believe they should be how you believe they should be? I mean, what do you mean it's abnormal? I believe that.
Because there's no peace in emptiness.
Oh no, that quite the contrary, my friend. There's much peace in emptiness, I believe.
Where's the peace in that? When you feel empty and the void, like something is missing, you feel happy? You feel
No,
peaceful?
I'm not saying
You feel peaceful.
I'm not saying you have to feel something's missing. I believe there is peace in accepting the emptiness feeling. I believe that if you let go and let God, so to speak, that there's much peace in that, and that to me is part of that is accepting a certain emptiness that you may feel at times, and you may be an empty vessel for God.
No,
And-
that's not the kind of emptiness he wants you to be. He came that you may be fulfilled. But let me ask, what does it mean to be Jewish, to be a Jew, to you? What does that mean to you to be a Jew?
It means that my blood comes eventually, from Moses or whoever, Abraham, Isaac, whatever, et cetera,
Whatever.
et cetera. That's
So,
all.
so to you, it's just a blood thing only.
Well, I don't want to be diminutive. There's a great history there, and my people are the people that wrote, the big book and all that stuff, right?
Do you believe in God?
No, I don't mean to be diminutive about that. Yes, sir.
You believe in God,
Yes, yes.
but you're just not into the Jewish aspect of it?
I am not, I grew up Messianic Jewish, which are Jewish people that believe in Jesus. They keep the faith on both ends. My father is a Messianic rabbi. I grew up steeped in that. It's sort of like evangelical Christianity, but also sort of like Orthodox Judaism, all sort of meshed together.
So Messianic Jews believe in Jesus. You believe in Jesus?
I believe in Jesus. I don't believe. I am not a Christian. Okay,
right, because you're Jewish.
No, not because I'm Jewish. My parents are Christian and Jewish.
Oh,
okay.
You can be both.
That's what I'm saying. You can be both. You can be both.
Why is it that you're not a Christian if you believe in Jesus then?
I mean, to say believe in Jesus, I believe Jesus was a man who lived a couple thousand years ago, and I believe that he was tapped in to God. I believe we are all the sons and daughters of God. I don't believe in sort of the idea of a savior or a Messiah character necessarily in that way.
So do you believe those who have not been born again of God are still sons and daughters of God?
Yes.
And why? How is that?
I don't believe it. I don't know. The concept of being born again of God, to me, is a similar concept to, in the way that I think about it, is a similar concept to when you say a real man or a real woman, someone who has put in the time and steeped with the source, with the creator, whatever that is, because I don't profess to understand what that is. You may, and for you it may be.
So as a Jewish,
for me it's not.
As a Jewish believer of Jesus, you don't believe him to be your savior.
I am not Jewish in religion. I am not Christian in religion. I don't have a religion. I don't subscribe to that. I believe that through any religion, one can achieve a closeness with God, and one can see God through that lens. But I personally have trouble subscribing to any one system in that way.
Why is that?
Because I see the flaws in each of them. If I was to prescribe to any one of those systems, it would be deep on the mystical side of them, discarding all that other junk that I don't want to have built up. Because
where's the flaw of believing in Jesus as your savior?
I don't believe that's a flaw. That's a lens.
Where's the flaw in Christianity?
There are many flaws in the system of Christianity as it is today,
Give me an
as
example.
it has been
Give
throughout time.
Give me one example.
Well, I mean, how about the Crusades?
The Christians who was fighting off the Muslims.
Yeah.
What's wrong with defending yourself? Where's the flaw in
that?
that?
That's not that one. Come on, go back through history, Jesse.
They would have been destroyed by the Muslim had not they defended themselves.
They were those were
the same thing happening today. But I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that because of time here. I do want to know, did you grow up close to your father?
Yes, sir.
And your mother?
Yes.
Who were you closest to, your father or mother?
Both in different ways.
888-7753-773. We're coming back to the phones. Okay, folks, welcome back. Do you want to give your album out tell the folks how to get your album?
Sure. That what you were just playing right there was a track off of an album called Testarossa, which I did through a group called Yoni and Getty, which is me and my friend Saren Getty. So you can find that anywhere. It comes out May 6th. You'll find it anywhere you get albums. You can go. The label is Joyful Noise Recordings, so you can go to their website, joyfulnoiserecordings.com. Maybe, I don't know. Google it.
Yeah, .com.
And buy it, and you can buy it there as well.
Let's go to Judy out of North Carolina. Judy, thanks for calling and thanks for holding. You're on the air with
Hey,
Yoni.
Jesse, can you hear me? My phone is broken a little bit.
No, I totally hear you. Coming across clear.
Okay. So I was just calling because of the hypocrisy of the boycotting. Because the Christians who boycotted the wedding, for the making the cake for the gay wedding, they were sued and their businesses were ruined. They were put out of business. But all of the rock stars and businesses that are boycotting North Carolina and other places, because they're morally objecting to the HB2 law, they're celebrated for that. And it's hypocrisy. They're boycotting on their belief, just like...
Hold on, Judy, do me a favor. Hold on, do not hang up. This is my final segment with Yoni. What I want to do is finish up with him, and I'll come back to you on this. It's off topic right now. But hold on, do not hang up. Let's go to Bessie out of Cleveland, Ohio. Bessie, you're on with Yoni.
Great. Hey, Yoni. First, I want to congratulate you for keeping a Hebrew name. That's a typically Hebrew name. Was that your name that your parents gave you?
Well, my Christian name is Jonathan. My government name is Jonathan. But yeah, everyone always called me Yoni since I was born. Yeah.
Okay, so I was listening to what you say. I find you to be a very interesting young man. I didn't catch everything, but did you say that one of your parents was Christian and one was Jewish? I didn't quite get that.
Both are Jewish. Both are Christian. They are Messianic Jews. So they are Jewish people who believe in Jesus as the Jewish Messiah.
Okay, that I understand. So I hope they've explained to you that Messianic Jews, as long as they were Jews by birth, they are still Jews, of course,
right.
Which means you are a Jew. Okay, so may I ask this? What beliefs do you hold? I'm just really curious about younger people. That is my only motivation here.
I might not be as younger as you think, but yeah.
How old are you?
I'll be 37 on Saturday.
Oh, happy early birthday!
Oh, you sound much younger. Okay, good for you.
I'm just hip. I'm just hip, Bessie.
You're very hip. You're very hip. Yoni, do you have a family of your own?
I don't have a wife and kids, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. So I have a dumb question, and I'm just trying to get at something here. If and when you marry, have you given thought as to how important Judaism would be in your life? And do you think you, too, would adopt the Messianic view? Does it sit well with you now?
Right. I don't, like I said before to Jesse, I don't believe that that I will. I mean, I don't subscribe to a religion in that way, and I don't believe that I would just because I had kids. I believe that I would probably raise them, with the understanding that they can't understand everything. That we never will. We're not. We may evolve to that point in thousands of years, right, where we really understand what's going on here. We don't yet. And why should I try? And I am not taking anything away from religion. I think religion has been and will continue to be, like I said, that lens through which we can see the divine, so we can see the source. But I don't feel that I need that. And something about just, personally, something about the residue that all those religions carry with them, with Christianity, you have the Crusades, you have the Spanish Inquisition, you have the hypocrisy and
are you agnostic now?
Crookedness of the Catholic Church throughout the Middle history and all that. I don't want to put myself in that. That said, I do believe that Jesus can be a way to come to
Yoni, let me
come
ask.
to the source.
Let me ask, are you agnostic?
I'm not a black and white thinker. I don't put names on things. I'm just telling you what I
But
think
you
about.
have a name.
I'm not. I don't want to put myself in a box like that.
But you have a name of your
we can
group.
just wax philosophically about how I think. That's all.
So
Okay, I get Jesse. The point I wanted to get to him was you're a fantastic young man, and I see an opportunity for you that I think you haven't explored yet, and that's my real point. I think that you've got a rich heritage in Judaism, and of course I'm saying that as another Jew, not trying to force you into anything, but I would say this, Yoni. We do have the Torah, the first 5 books of Moses, and they are a blueprint for life. So when I hear someone say we really don't know what's going on in this world and who really knows, we really do know. And you are a very blessed young man, sir. You're very blessed to have been born a Jew, and I can see you being a beacon of light even through your music. So I just ask you to think about what I said and know that God gives us each a purpose. He's given you yours. And think about how you might gain more knowledge of your own background and utilize that through your music.
thank you, Bessie.
Give it a little bit of thought.
Bessie.
All right. Thank you, Bessie. I got to run.
And
Thank you.
I do. I don't disagree with what she just said. I feel all that, and I just if I was to come to a religion and sort of see God through that lens, it probably would be Judaism, just because of my blood. Because why not?
Back in a moment.
Come out of nowhere and into my life.
Yoni Wolf is with me. Yoni, I want to just squeeze in another call, but it sounds like, before I go to the caller, it sounds as though you have judged some of the Christians and some of the Jews, and as a result of judging them, you have become like them, and now you are blaming the weakness of some of those people on religion, and you've turned away from religion. But Christianity and or Judaism had nothing to do with the weakness of the people who are part of those religions. And so you've been judged, but now you become a judger.
No, I'm not judging anyone.
Yes, you are.
I'm simply looking through the history and feeling like I don't necessarily need to use one of those names to.
But looking through the history has caused you to judge, and that's why you decided not to call.
Well,
but let me tell you, I'm sorry because I got to get to a call here.
That's fine.
We have 3 minutes left. I'll have you back to defend that. Baba,
okay.
You're gonna love this. Baba, go-to guy out of Los Angeles. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Jesse.
Yes.
Your guest name again?
Yoni.
Downey. Oh.
Yoni.
Yoni. Oh, okay. Yoni.
Don't worry about the name. Just get to your question.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for taking my call. Yoni, Jesse's hit it right on the mark. Instead of looking at the beauty of the champions of Christianity and the champions of Judaism, you tend to look at the Judases of Christianity and what's some of the traitors of Moses. But you tend to look at that and then judge your religion off of that. Let me put your mind to rest. The people who know Jesus already knows them before the foundation of the earth. You're just going through a mental exercise that you think you're picking and you're choosing and you're doing this. No, God already put into his people, like Jesus said. Jesus let Judas do his thing and betray him. Jesus knew Judas would betray him from the beginning. So your little pride about, I'm picking my religion and I'm making sense of all this and stuff, it's not true. What it is the people who know Jesus, Jesus knows them. He said, I know my sheep, and my sheep know me.
Yoni, real fast response if you like.
Okay. I'm not picking and choosing. I'm just living my life. That's all.
Thank you, Baba Go-To Guy. Yoni, it's been fun talking to you, man. Thank you.
You as well, Jesse. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, buddy. Thank you, folks, for tuning in and calling in. Have a good day. You lonely for, or who are you lonely for?
I guess there's a certain a certain social thing or camaraderie that us as a species are prone towards, or that we do need. I mean, you can't be alone 24/7, right? I think we as a species are made to be social. We are more powerful together than we are solitary. That said, sometimes one needs to.
Are you a sad person, Yoni?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that.
Are you lonely?
I go through times of loneliness for sure. I think like anybody does. But as I get older, I'm learning how to accept the time that I'm solitary and enjoy it. I spend a lot of time by myself as an artist, as a musician, as a writer. That's kind of a prerequisite, I think anybody in the arts, you're going to spend some alone time. You're going to have to work on some things by yourself. You're going to have to work some things out yourself. So, there's been many years of lots of that. And part of it's comfortable, part of it can be lonely, but I think through sort of I don't know, acceptance, it can be a very potent thing as well. When you can just tune in and vibe with the source, with the creator, or whatever you want to call it, and kind of tune into that, and you really are never alone. I mean,
when you're lonely, what are you? It is Manhood Hour.
Big and bad enough. Are you gonna let them shoot you down when the evil
Rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm taking your phone calls at 888-7753-7773, 888-77-Jesse. I am Skyping with Yoni Wolf. He is a songwriter, producer, and artist based in Cincinnati, Ohio. His main music group is called Why, with a question mark. James, my producer, believes that Yoni is an interesting person, and he talked to me about, Yoni talks a lot about his family on his podcast there, his belief, music, and emotions. So I wanted to talk to Yoni, to see what's going on. Yoni, good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So I saw your dog there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of dog is that?
Right now.
What kind of dog is that?
He's a Chinese crested.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing your dog on too.
He just likes to sit on my lap. He just gets antsy if he's alone. He just it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
Like most of us, I guess, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are sad.